There are things living on your body right now that have been with humanity longer than written language. Not parasites in a horror movie sense, not invaders from some exotic jungle, but organisms that evolved alongside us, quietly, patiently. And one of them has a very specific appetite. It eats human hair. It eats human nails. And scientists didn't create it. They found it. That sentence alone should make you uncomfortable. Because hair and nails are supposed to be dead. They're supposed to be leftovers. Evidence that your body has already moved on. But biology doesn't waste material, and nature never ignores a food source. When headlines say scientists found a fungus that eats human hair and nails, what they really mean is this: we finally paid attention.
Okay, hold on, because my brain immediately went to, why was this not a group chat notification for humanity? You mean to tell me there's been something out here casually snacking on our press-ons and box braids, and this is just now breaking news? I feel like that's information people deserve before getting acrylics.
Mine Low's reaction makes sense, because our culture treats fungi like villains or accidents. Mold is bad. Mushrooms are either food or poison, but fungi are neither heroes nor villains. They are recyclers. Long before bacteria ruled the microbial conversation, fungi were already breaking down the hardest materials on Earth. Wood, keratin, chitin, materials most organisms can't touch. And keratin is what your hair and nails are made of. Keratin is strong, insoluble, resistant. It's the reason your nails don't melt in the shower and your hair doesn't dissolve in rain. For most life on Earth, keratin might as well be plastic, except to fungi. Scientists didn't discover a new behavior. They identified species of keratin-ophilic fungi. Translation: keratin-loving organisms.
Keratin-ophilic fungi have evolved enzymes capable of degrading keratin into usable nutrients. This is not aggression, it is metabolism. Human interpretation assigns threat, where biology assigns function.
Luma's right. These fungi aren't attacking living tissue. They don't chew through skin. They don't invade your bloodstream. They wait. Hair that sheds, nails that clip, skin cells that flake. That's their buffet. This is where the discomfort creeps in, because we like to believe that once something leaves our body, it stops being us. But biologically, that's not true. Your hair is still human tissue. Your nails still carry your chemistry. Your DNA doesn't vanish just because you swept it off the floor.
So what I'm hearing is, even my trash knows my business.
Exactly. And here's where the story deepens. These fungi weren't found in laboratories first. They were found in barbershops, salons, locker rooms, soil, and household dust. Anywhere keratin accumulates, something evolves to break it down. That's not creepy. That's ecological balance. Nature does not believe in waste. If something exists long enough, something will learn how to eat it, including parts of us. Whenever a headline involves the human body and the word eats, fear shows up before understanding. So let's slow this down, because the most important question isn't what this fungus does, it's when and how it does it. The keratin-eating fungi scientists identified do not consume living tissue. That distinction matters. Hair follicles, alive. Nail beds, alive. Skin layers with blood supply, alive. Fungi do not touch those. They wait for keratin to be dead, detached, and abandoned by the body. That's why most people live their entire lives surrounded by these organisms without ever knowing their names.
The presence of keratin-ophilic fungi does not imply pathology. Risk increases only when protective barriers fail or immune regulation is impaired. In healthy hosts, interaction remains environmental, not invasive.
Translation: the fungus isn't the problem. The conditions are. Most fungal infections don't start with a hostile organism. They start with opportunity.
So basically, this isn't a villain origin story. It's a wrong place, wrong immune system situation.
Exactly. The same fungi that quietly recycle hair clippings in a salon can become problematic only when certain lines are crossed. Let's name those lines. Line 1: broken skin, cuts, cracks, chronic moisture, toenail trauma, male salon injuries, athlete's foot that never healed. That's not the fungus being aggressive. That's an open door. Line 2: moisture and occlusion. Fungi love warmth. They love dark, damp environments. Shoes, gloves, tight acrylic nails that never breathe. Biology responds to environment every time. Line 3: immune suppression, diabetes, long-term steroid use, chemotherapy, autoimmune conditions, severe stress. Your immune system isn't just fighting viruses, it's constantly negotiating boundaries with the microscopic world.
Immunity is not defense alone. It is regulation.
That's why most fungal issues appear slowly. No dramatic onset, no sudden invasion. Just subtle changes people ignore. A nail thickens, a color shifts, hair sheds a little more than usual. And because none of it hurts at first, people assume it's cosmetic.
Which explains why people panic after Google convinces them they're a biohazard.
Exactly. The real danger isn't the fungus, it's delay. When keratin-eating fungi are ignored long enough, they can colonize nails deeply. Not because they're aggressive, but because keratin doesn't regenerate once it's dead. Nails grow slowly, hair grows in cycles, and fungi wait patiently. This is why treatment takes time, not because medicine is weak, but because biology moves at biological speed.
Keratin replacement requires growth, not eradication alone.
So no, this discovery does not mean there's a new monster living on you. It means science finally named a relationship that's always existed. But here's where things get interesting. Because once scientists started paying attention to these fungi, they realized something else. They might be useful. And that changes the story entirely. Here's the part that didn't make the headline. Scientists didn't study this fungus because it was scary. They studied it because it was impressive. Breaking down keratin is hard, extremely hard. Keratin doesn't dissolve in water. It resists heat. It resists chemical breakdown. It resists bacteria. That's why feathers, hooves, hair, nails, and horns pile up in landfills and natural environments. From nature's perspective, keratin is a problem material. From a scientist's perspective, anything that solves a hard problem is worth studying.
Keratin-degrading enzymes are rare and energetically costly to evolve. Organisms that possess them represent biochemical efficiency. Efficiency invites application.
This is where the narrative flips. Application 1. Medical diagnostics. Fungi that digest keratin do it slowly and predictably. That makes them useful markers. Researchers can observe how fast keratin breaks down to learn about environmental conditions, microbial balance, and even immune responses. In some cases, the way fungi behave on nails can help doctors understand circulation issues, metabolic health, and immune stress. The fungus isn't the diagnosis, it's a signal.
So, my body's basically leaving little post-it notes for science?
Yes, and most of us throw them away without reading them. Application 2, forensics. Hair survives fires. Nails survive decomposition. That's why they matter in forensic science. But keratin-eating fungi can help determine time. How long has hair been exposed? Was it stored dry or damp? Was it moved from one environment to another? Fungal growth patterns tell stories, not about the fungus, about the environment around the human.
Biological decay follows sequence. Sequence reveals timeline.
Application 3. Environmental cleanup. This might be the most surprising one. Hair waste from salons alone accounts for millions of pounds per year globally. Most of it goes to landfills or waterways or gets burned. Keratin-eating fungi could help break that down naturally, turning waste into nutrients, returning material to the ecosystem. This is not about disease, it's about design.
I know this is serious, but I can't stop thinking about how even our trash has an afterlife.
Exactly. Humans like to think of ourselves as separate from nature. Clean lines, clear borders, inside versus outside. Biology does not agree. Your body is not sealed, it's regulated. And regulation only works because peltless organisms respect the rules.
Boundaries exist through cooperation, not isolation.
That's the part people struggle with. Because cooperation doesn't feel comforting when it involves things we can't see. But every breath you take and every cell you shed participates in a system older than fear. The fungus that eats hair and nails isn't here to take something from you. It's here to finish a process your body already started. The reason this story unsettled people has very little to do with fungus and everything to do with control. Modern culture is built on the idea that the human body is a closed system, self-contained, managed, owned. You are taught that what leaves your body becomes irrelevant, trash, waste, something to flush, sweep, or discard without thought. But biology doesn't see it that way. From a biological perspective, hair and nails are not yours anymore the moment they detach. They become resources.
I think that's the part people don't want to sit with, because it reminds us that we're temporary, even in pieces.
Exactly. Fungi force us to confront something modern life tries very hard to hide. Decay is not failure, it's continuation. In older cultures, this understanding wasn't shocking. Hair had meaning, males had rules. Bodily remnants were handled with care, intention, or ritual. Because people understood something we forgot. What comes from the body stays powerful.
Cultural discomfort often arises when biological processes contradict narratives of permanence. Humans resist systems that do not center them.
We want our bodies to end where our skin ends, but they don't. You are ecosystems layered inside ecosystems. Skin cells feed dust mites, gut bacteria shape mood, and fungi finish the work when keratin is done growing. The fungus doesn't violate you, it waits for permission biology already gave.
Which honestly feels less creepy and more humbling.
It is. This discovery triggered fear because it challenged the illusion of dominance. Not because something new arrived, but because something old was acknowledged. Humans didn't lose control. We never had it. And that realization hits differently depending on who you are. For some, it creates anxiety. For others, curiosity. For others still, relief.
Acceptance of biological limits correlates with reduced existential stress. Resistance increases fear response.
The fungus that eats hair and nails didn't take anything from us. It gave us a mirror, a reminder that our bodies participate in cycles far larger than identity, beauty, or control. And once you understand that, the fear starts to loosen. After everything we've talked about, the most important thing to say is this: nothing about your daily life needs to change dramatically. You don't need to panic. You don't need to sterilize your home. You don't need to fear your own body. The discovery of keratin-eating fungi doesn't introduce danger. It introduces awareness. The same rules that have always applied still apply. Rule 1. Respect the barrier. Skin is a boundary. Nails are protection. When they're healthy, they do their job beautifully. Clean cuts, dry feet, proper nail care. Boring advice, effective advice.
Barrier integrity remains the primary determinant of fungal interaction. Maintenance outweighs intervention.
Rule 2. Moisture is information. Chronic dampness is not neutral. It tells organisms that conditions are favorable. Let skin breathe. Let nails rest. Let wounds heal before covering them again. Rule 3. Pay attention without obsession. A nail changing color slowly is information, not an emergency. Hair shedding differently than usual is a signal, not a sentence. Bodies speak quietly first.
I think the real takeaway is don't ignore your body and don't terrorize yourself either.
Exactly. Awareness is not paranoia. It's relationship. The fungus that eats hair and nails is not stalking you. It's doing what it evolved to do in the places biology allows. Your body already knows how to coexist.
Human survival has always depended on coexistence, not exclusion. Symbiosis precedes fear.
What science uncovered here isn't a threat. It's a reminder. You are not separate from nature. You are not sealed off from cycles. You are not meant to last unchanged forever. And there is nothing wrong with that. The body grows. The body sheds. The world responds. That's not horror. That's biology.